Welcome, we are the Roving Vets. On this episode, fix the fridge. I'd say it's pretty safe to say, and everybody in the RV world knows it, that if you're not having something go wrong with your camper, you just haven't noticed it yet. Well, one thing that has been bothering us since we got this, we do have a Grand Designs Momentum for anyone curious, if we haven't mentioned that before. I used to be service industry before COVID, and that's actually when we started full time, and is because we could, and we could get out, and we could go do, because I didn't work anymore at that point. So one thing that's always been very important to me personally is safety with food. So, when we got this, well, not even this rig, the rig we had before this one, I had hang on, let me show you, actually, that would be the smart thing, wouldn't it? I have always kept one of these. You can hang it, you can sit it, perfect, cheap, cost effective, and you know you're not going to get sick. It tells you exactly what the temperature is supposed to be, also. Well, when we got this rig, it was never a good temperature, constantly, consistently, no matter what I did. I tried moving the food around different places in the fridge, never could get it to temp properly. So then we noticed this. And it's not something I would have probably noticed, but Rob did. Okay, so see this little flap here? This little flap. It is supposed to, when you open and close, it is supposed to do this. So that way it gets that proper seal. The problem is, it was not getting that proper seal because every single time it was doing this. Well, I never noticed it, so I could not figure out, for the life of me, why we could not get our fridge to work correctly. And our other camper, we had to replace and buy a whole brand new one, so we were headache and belly aching. Oh my goodness, are we going to have to do this again? Because we've already done it in the last rig. Are we going to have to fix this rig too with the fridge? No, we have a solution to it. So, as you see, I had closed it, and it didn't close properly. And you can even see that sticker down there where it gets stuck. I am glad it's made in the USA. I will throw that out there. But we've just been having to, every time we open it, close it, we've been having to just pull it. And it's not a huge deal, no, but it is something you might or might not have noticed in your own rig that you need to fix because of temperature safety. What else was it that you noticed? Because it's something that I never remember.
So another symptom you might notice, or another reason you're going to have to change this, is because you'll get a lot of condensation buildup in the bottom of your refrigerator, and eventually it will leak down out of the refrigerator and onto your floor and into your slide in our case. So you really need to fix that, or everything's going to be all wet, and it's going to ruin the wood and everything around it eventually.
Just cause a lot more problems in the end if you don't fix it now.
And there will be pooled water in the bottom of your fridge, and you don't want that. That's gross. There
has been so many times where we've come in here in the morning and there's water just pooled right here in the floor, and we could not for the life of us figure out why. We haven't been able to figure out where's it coming from, because it's not like we're just dropping water and not picking it up. So Rob has noticed that, and that's why we're going to fix it today, and we're going to show you an easy fix, super cheap, and anybody can do it, and we're hoping it fixes this issue and it just becomes a lot easier. So here we go. Alright, so Rob's going to tell you the first step right here.
Plastic cover. I just got it off with my hand, or use a screwdriver of some kind. Then you're going to have 3 5/16 nut drivers to take out. And then this door should lift right off of there. Hopefully we've cleaned all the stuff out of the door.
We haven't, so we need to do that right now. I forgot already.
And
whoops.
Other than that, these 3 bolts, well, then you got to do that first.
Yeah, so let me hit pause. Be right back. And it's super easy on this. I'm not taking everything individually out. Why work harder? Work smarter, not harder. I'm just pulling the whole tray out itself, so that way, easy. Just stick it right back in. All right, now we're back. Continue regular programming. Or what is it they say on TV?
I don't know.
Regular programming.
Resuming
or continuing. I don't know. Whenever they make a special break for whatever. But yeah, so this part, not too crazy.
I'm just going to hold this door just to make sure it doesn't come off of there.
Probably not a bad idea. Alright, so Rob is using whatever this is.
5/16 brass washer from Lowe's, right down the road. Done.
So if you could do something that simple, to fix your fridge door and make it safe temperature wise, why wouldn't you? And it was super cheap too, so.
It's a 5/16 nut driver.
Say that one more time for everybody on camera.
It's a 5/16 nut driver.
So that's what you're going to need for this. Not a Phillips head. Ooh! Rob had one addition to say to this. Say what you just said
This
again.
is a well-known problem with this model refrigerator. If you haven't had this issue yet, you're going to if you use this refrigerator often. This is a very common refrigerator. It's in lots of rigs. This is a Grand Designs Momentum from 2015 or 16, but across the board, it's a pretty common refrigerator, especially if you have the electric propane.
So this one does
fridge.
both, which we love.
There's very few manufacturers of those. I think there's only one or two. So chances are you're going to have this model or something similar. This is a well-documented problem with these refrigerators, but very easily fixed.
Oh, see, look. I showed you that video before what it was doing.
So
Open it again. Shut it. See that? And I was showing you earlier you had to pull it because I would have never known that except for that right there. If you do not have one of these, they are very inexpensive. I highly recommend if you want to save your just safety and peace of mind to know that your food is proper temp.
Also, one more thing I'll say is this sticker right here, made in the USA, very sticky, and whenever it starts rubbing against it on the bottom, it sticks the door, and that flap has to move for your refrigerator to work properly.
Yeah,
or seal properly. So
super easy.
Get that done.
This took him less than 5 minutes, and that's taking the entire door off from the whole process, and
that was all of it.
Yeah, fixed, done. What you doing in here, Rob?
Just looking back here, we're getting a lot of condensation off of the fins. That's how these things cool. And the condensation is designed to drip down the back and into a drain catcher. So make sure you keep all of your refrigerator items off that back wall, more in kind of the middle of the refrigerator, and make sure it has good airflow around it, front, back, and to the sides. That way you don't get.
This is one thing I got at Hobby Lobby. It was on sale like 40% off, so it ended up costing like $5 or $6. But whenever I have a full carton of eggs, it always touches that back wall and it pokes out. But with this thing, it still holds a whole carton of eggs, and I can keep it off of that back wall to where it doesn't cause all that condensation to build up, because we were having a major issue with that, even worse with the condensation and dripping out when we were really packing this thing down all the way to the back. So ever since we quit, here I'm going to push all these buttons so that way, here. So ever since we've noticed that, we've been trying to keep stuff off of the back wall so that way we don't end up, and we haven't ended up with such a liquid down in the bottom. So one thing you're going to notice if you haven't already is that everything costs an arm and a leg if it has the title RV on it. So when you're doing little fixes and stuff like this, think a little outside the box so it don't cost you way more than it should. This was a super cheap and easy fix, but had we brought it into a dealership somewhere, it would have probably cost us, it definitely wouldn't have cost us less than $3 to fix this for sure.